Okay, well, let's just start by talking about what kind of inspires you to make a painting.
As far as the subject matter now, or just in general?
In general.
It's just that utter need to create something.
Sure.
The buttery, juicy quality of paint has always been the draw.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. I think a lot of painters love the paintness of the paint.
Smell, the feeling makes you want to eat it.
Sure. So what about the specific paintings now? Because they have really, unique subject matter, I guess.
I think I can give all of my students the credit for my subject matter. My little people.
You are a teacher?
Public school elementary art teacher. And the kids are always like, Miss D, what if you did a painting of a llama? I'm like, what if I did? And so then over the past couple of years, it's been development from, well, actually they give me toys. I have several of these things hanging around. This is Bilbo.
Oh, that's adorable.
And so they've kind of been, teaching me to remove limitations for myself.
Sure.
Like, what could be my subject matter?
Because they're kind of absurd.
Yeah, they are. They're bizarre, kind of silly. They're not elegant. I like to poke fun at the idea of, what could really be a good painting.
Sure. You kind of do that with color a little bit too, I think, right?
Do. I make fun of the whole pink and blue thing, the femininity and the whole idea of pink and sex sells. I'm like, oh yeah? Well, what if I do it with this?
Is that why these women are horses?
Yeah.
Because there's kind of an absurd, because the horse is when you think about a horse, the full body of a horse, it's kind of sexy almost, because they have this musculature and they're these really gorgeous creatures. But I think what you've done is kind of taken one of the ugliest parts of the horses, right?
Because I really love traditional English horse paintings, but you would never know that I love it based on what I'm doing now. But it's kind of taking bits and pieces of art history that I love and kind of exploiting it in my most sarcastic way. I do it with love, I take it seriously, but I think the humor aspect is extremely important.
Sure. So that's actually a little quotation of Aang, right?
Yeah.
The figure.
And then the other one is Rubens.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Venus and her toilet.
So would you say that was a feminist statement? Are you making a feminist statement, or?
Good Lord, I hope not, but it seems that I am. I don't do it as to make a feminist statement. I think I'm actually making fun of feminist art.
Are there any serious elements?
Well, the seriousness is definitely my passion to actually do it. I take my work very seriously, and the finished result to me is a very serious. Have I reached it? Is this the best that I can do? I hold myself to an extremely high standard, and I used to be extremely serious about my subject matter. I used to just limit myself to what is a painting, what can I do, what can I not do, what is worth hanging on the wall, what is not, and I was pretty snobby about what I would look at and who I was inspired by.
That's surprising, especially considering the body of work you have now. I mean, because I think it's like you said, it's obviously taken seriously, but done with humor.
Well, in grad school, my work was very violent, and it was it was full of angst, full of it was very dark and very confused. And now I was now I have no confusion. I was now I just want to paint, and it's very simple. And I think that's working with kids. They just want to make a piece of art. And I'm well, that's kind of how I feel. So why am I making it so hard for myself? I just want to paint a toy unicorn, and it's totally okay. I want to put a head of a horse on top of an Aang body, and I love the Aang body, and I love that painting, but it's okay that I'm making fun of it, too.
Well, it in itself is a little absurd. When you think about the Aang painting and all these really posed paintings, that's kind of absurd,
They're silly.
Yeah.
And the actual painting, I love it, but I want to laugh at it, too, when I saw it at the Frick. I used to go to the Frick just to see that painting. It's the whole Rococo, I absolutely love the absurd, silly nature of that whole movement based on what was going on historically. It's so stupid. I love it.
And all it is people out enjoying
just pure
themselves.
Thrill. I just love it.
Sure. So you said earlier kind of that you take the work very seriously. You mentioned when it's finished. So how do you decide when a work is finished?
That's actually really hard because I have a tendency I can just be a workhorse. One of my teachers in school called me the athlete. He's like, you just paint all day, but you're just going to keep going and you won't actually stop yourself.
Sure.
So, actually it was nice doing the studio visit with friends now because we can talk about, they can see it from a different point of view, this one's raw, but it feels more finished because there's still room for the viewer to develop it rather than some being more polished, and that's it. You're just giving it all away in one go.
Sure.
So it's a matter of like finding that place where I haven't given it all away. Because I've never done a successful triptych in all my years of painting. I've tried it and I've just never done it successfully. I was like, all right, I'm ready for the challenge. And my friend who actually owns the gallery said, please bring back the toy unicorn. And I kept struggling. I was like, what am I going to do with it? And then one day I just decided I was going to start by painting myself in there. And then this happened. And then my kids and I were talking about ostrich racing. We all watched some movie.
Sure.
Where there was ostrich racing, and next thing you know,
So is that what this is? This is the ostrich race?
Yeah, I'm dreaming of an ostrich race.
Do they often talk to you about your work?
Oh yeah, we're constantly. Luckily the group size is so small, we can form really intimate relationships where we just, they're always looking. They go home and look at my website to see what else I have on there. And their parents too. It's a unique situation, but if my kids don't like the paintings, then I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
So they have excellent taste.